Hello, everybody. May I ask you to sit down so that we can go over to the workshop presentations? Sorry for interrupting all the very nice discussions. Sabine mag. Okay, perfect. So I assume you had very, very nice discussions in the workshop groups. As promised, we are going to sum up everything to see, okay, what has been happening in the individual workshops and what were the discussions there, the directions. And I'm very happy that all the workshop leaders are sitting with me here in the chairs. And I will start with Sabine. So maybe can you just give a brief overview about what has been discussed in your workshop, please?
Yeah, we had a great discussion. The time was much too short for all our ideas, and of course it seems to be so obvious, but the basis and the foundation of everything we want to do in digitization, especially when it comes to AI, is data. Having access to the right data and having a possibility, an architecture, to share and combine data in a trustworthy way, in a way that we stay in control of our data, and so we can benefit and participate in other people's data without having to steal it. So data, a right, trustworthy framework that everyone can trust to share this data, and this is the basis and the foundation for value-based AI projects. And what we were discussing here was data stored in the European data space architecture. This is a special architecture that you find as well in the EU data strategy, as well as in the Austrian data strategy. Data space architecture, always please ask if somebody's telling you, talking to you about data spaces or data lakes or whatever, always ask what they are talking about. EU data spaces is a framework that is aligned with all the EU states, and there you know, here is my data, here am I always in control with my data, and I can also access to somebody else's data. And this is the foundation for my new AI business model or AI project idea. And what we were discussing here was smart water management as one of a million use cases that could be based on a digital twin that we build in the whole Alps region, for example. A digital twin really meaning a physical and digitized a twin of our surroundings. And this could be the basis to run millions and millions of scenarios to look at mobility, to look at smart housing, to look at smart energy, to look at smart water management, and so on and so on. So think of a digital twin as a basis for collaboration in the Alps region, and then we can start best practice sharing. The water management use case is almost done. As far as I know, we're going to start after tomorrow, Fritz. Ready? Yeah. Okay.
Great. Great, thanks a lot. So may I hand over to Peter? So he had the working group about digital transformation. So please, Peter.
Yes, actually we had two parts in our workshop. The first part were characterized by inputs from concrete pilot implementations, and the second part was characterized by policy aspects. We were there interviewing two representatives of macro-regional strategies, actually, and we were there looking for cooperation on a macro-regional level and policy uptake. So at the end, we could really say that with these presentations, we also saw and understand how smart transformation, how digitalization of rural areas can work, is kind of a best practices. I just mention the major steps of kind of these pilot activities. We have the context assessment at the very beginning, then solution co-design, where we find together solutions, technological solutions and non-technological solutions. So the Smart Villages approach is a combination of both aspects. Then we have pilot execution, and we have also replication. And these steps are defined and also tested by the Smart Era Horizon project, which is actually running at the moment. And we find, all of us, we found it a very good concept how this is working. Other aspects, of course, is data readiness also, data sovereignty and ownership. This is very important. Who owns the data? Who owns the infrastructure? Who can use it? So these are very important aspects of smart villages and smart communities. Then on the policy level, we saw, or we can say that there are different windows of opportunities where when we have to do lobbying and interventions. For example, we have now the multi-financial framework, multi-annual financial framework initiative at the moment running, and this is a window of opportunity to present our results on a policy level, to have an uptake on a policy level and a dissemination leverage. Then, of course, also the cohesion policy we have to support, and also the right to stay initiative with smart transition of rural areas. We are improving actually the living conditions in the rural areas, and we are supporting the right to stay to this population. So this from the policy aspects, and then then also the amendment from the USAP strategy. The action plan of USAP is now under revision, and there are some amendments and improvements also that go into let's say a different organization of the action groups. There is more a coordination role foreseen for the action groups, less operational activities, and this should also improve then the policy uptake of USALP results. So that's all from my point of view.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for your summarization. So may I hand over to Paolo? We had a working group about digital infrastructure. Please, Paolo.
Thank you. Thank you. You already mentioned the data strategies. We started from an assumption that AI itself and smart services needs infrastructures, needs physical infrastructures for using them. Physical, mobile, fixed, etc., and need data centers, because you need a place where to store the data. You need a computational capacity. So without that infrastructure, you cannot have AI. You cannot have smart services, of course. In the last years, we're working on the first step, so we can name it enabling. We developed as an Alpine region new connectivity. I remember that in Courmayeur, YAF people asked for connectivity. I think that in these past years, something has been done from the fixed point of view, from the mobile point of view. The CEF program funded a lot of new infrastructure and new use cases in 5G for smart communities, so and new mobile infrastructures. During our workshop, we also focused new networks like LoRa Wi-Fi as an enabling technology for IoT and civil protection detection of tourists. And this is also a key aspect for keeping jobs on the Alpine region. We already mentioned remote working, but also for safety. IoT, the Alpine region is very fragile. for rivers, for water management, and IoT can provide interesting data to be monitored, and maybe thanks to the AI to identify new risks. But also new technology involve fiber sensing, using fiber optics to detect early earthquake, early movements of the soil. So the second step is securing, not after the enabling. So be more secure from the cyber point of view. I remember that in Brussels in October, the European Commission presenting the CEF program used the term technical sovereignty more than 10 times. So we have to develop new technical use cases with the new technology. We have to involve in data sovereignty to improve the resilience of our infrastructures. And also we were not so many people at the table, but most of us as an aura as a known public-owned infrastructure. So also the technical sovereignty passes from the owning of the infrastructure, so the fiber optics from the public, because it is also that is the need to control. And about security, we also discussed about quantum communication, because it is an emerging technology which is already true. The network is already deployed. The nodes have to be implemented, have to be put in action, but the technology is just ready to industrial application. So it is a big step for securing the networks. And so just for concluding, in this way, so we conclude the enabling step and we will make a secure infrastructure, we can activate the ecosystem for smart solution and for smart alpine region. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Paolo, for summarizing that one. And finally, I can hand over to Gianluca, who had the discussion about open platforms. Gianluca, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank the 6 fantastic speakers we had that definitely enabled us to discover hidden treasures, the hidden platforms in projects, in strategies, and so on and so forth. We have 5 main messages for you, SALP, coming from our thematic workshop. The first one is secure political anchoring and commitment of the platform you are creating. If the platform is anchored and committed to regions, to AGs, to the USALP, then it can stay, it can be durable. We have several examples of platforms that were enabled by political commitment. The second is keep the platform participatory, open, and also open to collaborations with other platforms, other websites, also open to content sharing, to market sharing. So do not keep the platform isolated from the rest of the web and from the platforms that do something similar. The third message we have is keep the platform high quality. The platforms that were presented today were extremely high quality, dedicated to hydrogen technologies, to climate adaptation, to the water quality and temperature of lakes, to intangible heritage. They were extremely high quality, and they definitely excited the interest of researchers, of citizens, of users in general. So keep the platform high quality. The fourth message we have is have a platform that can be accessed at different levels. Some people might want to access a platform just to give a superficial glance, a quick response on a specific problem, but some other people would like to delve into details and go deeper and deeper and deeper. So keep the approach to the specific platform scalable with different levels, which is also very appealing most of the time. The fifth message comes from young people, in particular from the Youth Council, is create platforms that are made by people who use them. So platforms made by young people are more likely to be used by young people. Platforms made by elderly people like myself might not be so appealing to young people, for example. On the same level, platforms made and created by researchers are more likely to be used by researchers. platform made by policymakers are more likely to be used by policymakers. This also is linked to what we were discussing before, so scalable use of platform. So yeah, 5 messages for you: use Alp and AGs from thematic workshop 4. Thank you.
Perfect. So thanks a lot for summarization of all these wonderful workshops. So I want, before I can hand over to Carlo, I want to give us, for you, the perfect participation in the workshops and in this event, and also for the workshop leaders, some big applause for this very, very successful day. Congratulations. Perfect. Thank you. Perfect, thank you. So finally, Paolo, it's your turn, and you can finally close this wonderful event and have some brief overview about the next steps. Paolo, please.
So thank you. We arrived at the conclusion way ahead of this first day. So first of all, let me thank you, Professor Doller, to be our guide today. To thank you all the politicians and the institutional representatives to give us a view on the needs of the priorities of the Alpine territories. Of course, thank you to the keynote speakers because they had so inspiring. So we very appreciated your intervention. All the workshop moderator for your hard work and your perfect summary now. For all the participants for your contribution. And of course, last but not least, let me thank you also for the people that worked for the organization of this 2025 edition, and also from the staff of Grand Hotel of Lienz that supported us so well. About the way ahead, I will start with key message is all the material of the event will be available on the website of Digital Alps Conference, so we will inform you. And of course, the most important thing that all the today work, all the result, all the discussion will be brought to the attention of political decision maker or the overall use Alp strategy during the annual forum. So thanks to the support from the Austrian Liechtenstein presidency, because we want to collect all these messages and all this the idea and to try to capitalize them and to scale them at Alpine level. Of course, that was the main goal of the today. So take note that the annual forum will be in Innsbruck on 25th and 26th of November. And of course, you are already all invited for the next edition, the 2026 edition of the Digital Alps Conference that will be during the German presidency, or the new presidency, because it's changing presidency. For all of you that are here, please stay here 5 minutes more, because I have some organizational messages to you for tonight and tomorrow. And so for all the other, see you all in Innsbruck and in the next edition. Bye-bye. Thank you.